There are games that aren't just good, they leave a mark on you in a way that's hard to explain. They make your heart race, bring a smile with every achievement, and even draw tears in their most powerful moments. When the screen fades to black, it feels like you've lived something greater, like you've stored a real memory. Playing a perfect game is feeling like every piece was made to connect with you through its story, combat, or just the act of exploring. That feeling is what today's games are all about. Before we begin, tell me, what was the last perfect game you played? I'm really curious to know what you've been playing lately. And if you feel like supporting the channel by subscribing, it helps us a lot to keep going. From one gamer to another, let's get started. Skyrim opened the doors to a new era of RPGs, throwing you into a world full of freedom and endless possibilities. Every mountain on the horizon was reachable, every cave held a secret, and the sense of being in a living universe became a milestone in gaming. The balance between the main quest and the side missions gave the impression the journey would never truly end. It became more than just a game, it became a cultural phenomenon. The gameplay let you fight with swords, cast powerful spells, or master the bow, adapting to your style. The skill system was deep, letting you shape your entire journey with countless upgrades. For its time, the physics and world interaction felt groundbreaking, giving real weight to every action. Whether exploring dungeons, battling dragons, or making tough decisions, every session felt unforgettable. Its world was visually stunning, with dense forests, crystal-clear rivers, and lively towns. Creature designs and the sheer size of the map were impressive in an era where few games delivered such scale. The dynamic weather and day-night cycle only added to the immersion. That attention to detail made every place feel distinct and unforgettable. What truly made it timeless was its longevity. Years later, it's still being played and updated across multiple platforms. Mods extended its life even further, introducing new stories and mechanics. Skyrim wasn't just a hit of its time, it became a legend that still shapes RPGs to this day. Horizon Zero Dawn is the kind of game you just can't forget once you start. You're thrown into a vast world of mystery, where every step gives you that feeling of discovery. Look to the distance and there's always something waiting. A towering machine, a breathtaking view, or a danger that tests your courage. It hits you with a powerful mix of beauty and tension. When combat kicks in, the pace shifts dramatically. These machines aren't typical foes. Each one demands strategy and quick reflexes. The adrenaline rush of dodging an attack and hitting a weak spot is unbeatable. It's not just fighting, it's a duel with something that feels overwhelming. And every victory comes with that rewarding sense of triumph. Wandering the map becomes addictive. You might start with no destination and suddenly stumble into ancient ruins, hidden trails, or creatures that shift your entire path. The game rewards curiosity, turning every minute into something surprising. It's hard to stop playing when there's always something pulling you forward. What stays with you are the emotions packed into every scene. It doesn't just hand you a story, it lets you live your own, shaped by your actions. You get lost in gorgeous landscapes, face intense challenges, and feel the pressure before every fight. Horizon Zero Dawn is the kind of game that truly gets under your skin from beginning to end. The Witcher 3 redefined what storytelling in games could be. The narrative goes beyond monster hunts and spellcasting. It's rooted in moral dilemmas that make you question everything. Every choice can reshape your journey, and even side quests carry the emotional weight of epic tales. This world doesn't just tell stories, it makes you live them, like a never-ending novel. The gameplay is far deeper than swordplay and magic. You need to study enemies, brew potions, and plan your moves carefully to survive. Fights are intense, but their true impact comes from how they intertwine with the story, making every battle feel meaningful. Even hunting a lost creature or visiting a tiny village carries narrative purpose in this universe. The open world is something else entirely. Each city has its own culture, conflicts, and reactions to events. One moment you're escaping a nightmare-filled forest, and the next you're walking through peaceful, sunny fields. That contrast keeps everything fresh and makes exploration feel personal. There's always more to uncover, more people to meet, and more hidden tales waiting. The Witcher 3 stays with you long after the screen goes dark. It's not just about slaying monsters or finishing the main story. It's about the memories you build along the way. The choices, surprises, and bonds you form in that world feel real. That's what makes it more than just a grand RPG. It's a timeless classic. Prey starts off mysterious, waking you up in a futuristic space station. Slowly, the tension builds until you realize the place is twisting reality itself. The story dives into themes like identity, control, and artificial intelligence, making you question what's real. The atmosphere is thick, wrapping you in isolation from start to finish. Gameplay is wide open and clever, letting you decide how to handle every encounter. Want to charge into a fight with aliens? Go ahead. Prefer sneaking and using your brain? That works too. The weapons and powers make every option feel valid, encouraging creativity. There's no single right way. Freedom is everything here. The station itself is a masterclass in design. Dark hallways, abandoned labs, and secret areas are filled with fragments of hidden stories. Exploration is as important as survival, since every clue adds a new piece to the puzzle. You're always scanning your surroundings, never sure what might suddenly become a threat. Prey mixes psychological horror with sharp sci-fi, but what truly grabs you is the constant uncertainty. Each decision shapes the path ahead, and once you piece it all together, you realize the station was more than a setting. It was a mirror of human choice. Titanfall 2 might have seemed like just another sci-fi shooter, but its campaign told a much deeper tale. The bond between you and a war machine takes center stage, creating heartfelt moments amid chaotic battles. The story is fast-paced yet powerful, turning each mission into something memorable. Combat stands out for its insane speed and variety. You're running on walls, flying through the air, and swapping between foot soldiers and giant mechs. It all flows seamlessly, with every fight pumping up the intensity. Whether in a gunfight or piloting a Titan, the action keeps your pulse racing. Each level brings something new. One moment you're storming high-tech military bases, the next you're in crumbling war zones or messing with time mechanics. Some missions became instant classics for how creative they were. That variety keeps everything exciting and fresh. Titanfall 2 proved a shooter can be much more than explosions and bullets. It blended high-octane action with surprising emotion, crafting a campaign that stuck with everyone lucky enough to play it. Baldur's Gate 3 is the definition of freedom in an RPG. The story completely adapts to your decisions, crafting moments that feel tailor-made for you. From unexpected alliances to heartbreaking betrayals, every choice carries real weight, shaping not just the journey but how others around you respond. It's as if each playthrough is a different book, full of unpredictable branches. The gameplay revolves around strategy, requiring you to treat every move like a chess match. Turn-based combat might seem slow at first, but soon reveals itself as deep and rewarding, with endless combinations of skills, spells, and positioning. There's no single formula for success. Each fight is a puzzle with multiple answers. The world is vast, packed with details that invite exploration. Hidden caves, politically charged cities, and mysterious forests wait for those who wander off the main path. Even casual conversations can unlock side quests, rewarding curiosity at every turn. It constantly leaves you wondering, what if I had chosen differently? Baldur's Gate 3 isn't just massive, it's endless. Every new run reveals something fresh, a unique dialogue, an alternate ending, or a new fate for an ally. It's a journey that never truly ends, always offering another path to explore. Resident Evil 4 was a game-changer for action horror, and its essence remains powerful to this day. The story throws you into a desperate mission in a remote village hiding dreadful secrets. Tension never lets up, with enemies that feel like more than monsters. They're part of a bizarre, unpredictable cult. Every step carries unease, and your heart races the moment you hear a chainsaw revving in the distance. Combat redefined the genre, using a closer camera and gunplay that made every shot count. Ammo is limited, forcing you to think before firing. This balance between frantic action and constant fear of running dry became a benchmark, influencing countless titles that followed. The locations are unforgettable, from crumbling villages to towering castles, each with unique atmosphere and challenges. The pacing never falters, shifting between suffocating horror and intense boss fights. That mix creates an addictive rhythm where each win feels earned with grit and tension. Resident Evil 4 isn't just a classic, it remains relevant decades later. It proved that action and horror can work hand in hand, creating a journey that still resonates with generations. Sleeping Dogs might have flown under the radar, but it's one of the most gripping open-world games ever made. The story dives into a crime-filled plot full of twists, where trust and betrayal are constantly intertwined. You always feel on edge, walking a tightrope between two lives. Gameplay is varied and deeply entertaining. Hand-to-hand combat is brutal, filled with quick strikes, counters, and takedowns straight out of martial arts films. At the same time, there are high-speed chases, intense gunfights, and even moments of investigation, keeping the pace dynamic. The city breathes life into the experience. Every street, market, and alley feels authentic, rich with cultural detail. It's not just a backdrop, it becomes a character in the story, shaping the weight of your actions in this world. Sleeping Dogs proves you don't need blockbuster sales to leave a lasting impression. With a powerful story, dynamic gameplay, and a world bursting with personality, it remains one of the genre's most underrated gems. Ghost of Tsushima is an epic that blends poetry and violence in equal measure. The story unfolds in a land torn by war, marked by invasion, and the struggle over how to fight back. It's not just about battle, it's about the cost of choices, honor, and the transformation of a warrior amid chaos. Every mission is charged with emotion, and even the smallest encounters reshape your view of the island. Combat plays like a choreographed dance of blades, with duels requiring focus and precision. The stance system adds tactical depth, while the stealth options keep tension high. These layered mechanics make every slash feel like a real fight for survival. The open world is visually breathtaking, full of golden fields, vibrant forests, and ancient temples, but it's not just about looks. Every corner hides secrets, enemies, and stories that reinforce the sense of a living, breathing place. Nature acts as your guide instead of traditional markers, building a unique bond between you and the world. Ghost of Tsushima lingers in your memory, not just for its epic battles, but for how every detail from narrative to scenery builds a journey that feels like a legend passed down by firelight. Terraria is the kind of game that hands you an entire universe to shape as you see fit. Its story isn't told through cutscenes, but through the discoveries you make while exploring caves, battling strange creatures, and crafting your own sanctuaries. That freedom turns you into the true author of the adventure, guided only by your curiosity. Gameplay blends building, exploration, and combat into a loop that never grows old. You might spend hours gathering materials for a new structure, only to suddenly face a towering boss from another realm. That contrast between peace and chaos keeps everything fresh, pushing you deeper. The procedurally generated world means no two adventures are the same. Forests, deserts, caverns, and even alternate dimensions appear before you, each with unique challenges. Every step offers something, a rare treasure or an enemy ready to test your skill. Terraria is infinite, not just in size, but in the creativity it unlocks. It shows you don't need photorealistic graphics to live an epic journey. What makes it unforgettable is how it turns you into the creator of your own legend. Red Dead Redemption 2 is more than a game, it's a time machine. The story places you at the heart of the Old West, during a period when outlaws were fading and civilization was advancing fast. Every choice feels like a matter of survival. It's a tale full of personal struggles, broken loyalties, and the search for purpose in a world changing too quickly to keep up. Gameplay blends gunfights with moments of quiet reflection. Hunting, fishing, exploring, and even caring for your horse become essential parts of the journey, making it feel like a second life. Each activity ties back to the story, with even the smallest details carrying emotional weight. The world is breathtaking. Snow-covered peaks, foggy swamps, endless plains, and booming towns create a vivid portrait of a bygone era. The level of detail is so high that even the shifting weather affects your journey, making every trip unique. Red Dead Redemption 2 is unforgettable. It captures the scale and sorrow of a disappearing time, turning every mission, every conversation, and every sunset into something that feels deeply real. Celeste is far more than a simple platformer. Its story revolves around a mountain that symbolizes all the inner battles you must face. Each level is a metaphor for overcoming challenges, dealing with fear, self-doubt, and perseverance. It's a deeply personal journey that reminds you our greatest enemies often lie within. Gameplay is sharp and precise, designed to push your reflexes to the edge. Pixel-perfect jumps, tight passages, and unforgiving traps force you to fail and try again, until success feels like a genuine personal victory. The difficulty never feels unfair. Each setback teaches, and each triumph means everything. The level design is smart and ever-evolving, introducing new mechanics just when you need them. With every area, you gain a new tool or idea to tackle what's ahead, keeping things fresh and satisfying. This steady reinvention prevents boredom and emphasizes your progress both mechanically and emotionally. Celeste stays with you because it speaks to something deeper. It challenges your skills while connecting to your emotions, delivering a story that teaches not only about gaming, but about yourself. Bloodborn is a descent into gothic horror, where every alley and creature feels torn from a Victorian nightmare. The story is fragmented and elusive, leaving you to piece together the truth. That constant sense of being lost in a hostile world creates a tension that never eases, where each revelation only deepens the mystery. Combat is savage and demands aggression. Unlike others in its genre, hesitation is punished. You must strike as hard as you defend. The fast-paced fights and relentless enemy design mean every win comes through grit and mastery. There's no thrill quite like toppling a monstrous boss after countless tries. The world drips with dread. Abandoned cathedrals, cursed villages, and abyssal horrors form a suffocating atmosphere. Architecture and creature design work together to keep your nerves on edge, as if something worse waits around every corner. Bloodborne isn't just about slaying monsters, it's about confronting the madness that surrounds and infects everything. It grips you with fear, challenge, and mystery, forging a journey that few forget once they endure it. Ori Klein's The Will of the Wisps is a modern fable overflowing with emotion and symbolism. At first glance, the story seems simple, but it quickly unfolds into a tale of friendship, loss, and hope. It plays like a moving picture book, where each scene conveys deep feeling without needing many words. Gameplay is smooth and elegant, turning movement into an art form. Jumps, climbs, and special skills flow together seamlessly, making exploration feel like a dance. Meanwhile, combat is sharp and demanding, keeping you alert in every encounter. The world is a living painting. Glowing forests, shadowy caves, and enchanted swamps stir constant wonder. Each location is crafted with care, filled with visual detail that makes you pause just to take it in. This attention breathes life into the world, making it feel like a character itself. Ori and the Will of the Wisps both stirs and stuns. It merges challenge, beauty, and story into a single journey that carves gentle, lasting scars on anyone who takes it. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 embraces a grounded narrative. No dragons, no spells, just gritty survival during medieval turmoil. The story delves into religious and political strife, placing you in dilemmas that feel pulled straight from historical texts. Its raw tone gives weight to every conversation, making even casual talk feel consequential. Gameplay leans entirely into realism. Combat isn't about button mashing, but mastering swordplay, managing stamina, and preparing wisely. Fights are unpredictable, and victory feels earned through patience and discipline. It's a system that rewards caution, turning each duel into a lasting memory. The medieval world is stunningly detailed. Villages, forests, castles, and farmland form a faithful picture of the past, complete with day-night cycles, weather changes, and NPCs with their own routines. The immersion is so deep it feels like living in another era, where even cold and hunger pose serious threats. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 delivers no fantasy, just raw authenticity. It pulls you in because it feels real, where glory must be fought for, and every win feels like a personal piece of history. A Plague Tale: Requiem tells a haunting story of pain, hope, and survival in a plague-ridden Europe. It doesn't just show you supernatural horrors or human cruelty. It asks how far one can go to protect someone they love. Emotion drives every scene, making the journey deeply affecting. Gameplay centers on stealth, puzzles, and using the world around you wisely. You're not an unstoppable warrior, but someone vulnerable, relying on brains to survive. The rat swarm mechanic creates unbearable tension, where light becomes both your weapon and your last thread of safety. Even amid ruin, the settings are breathtaking. Deserted villages, ruined fields, and collapsing cathedrals highlight the contrast between natural beauty and widespread decay. These environments do more than set the scene, they amplify the urgency of your struggle. Requiem is unforgettable because it marries raw emotion with gripping gameplay. Each chapter feels like a punch to the gut, but also a reminder of the strength hope can give when all else falls apart. Hollow Knight is a masterclass in atmosphere and mystery. Its story unfolds subtly through ruins, cryptic characters, and silences that say more than words. This sense of the unknown makes you feel like you're exploring a forgotten world, filled with secrets and faded memories. Every discovery feels like a piece of a much larger puzzle. The gameplay is tight and challenging, demanding sharp reflexes and constant focus. Navigating caverns, defeating brutal bosses, and unlocking new abilities creates a rewarding loop where each victory feels earned. There's no room for mistakes, and that's what makes every win so satisfying. The underground world is vast and interconnected, with environments ranging from suffocating tunnels to abandoned kingdoms. Smart level design constantly reveals new routes and surprises. The isolation adds to the immersion, making it feel like you're the last explorer in a crumbling realm. Hollow Knight stays with you because it perfectly blends challenge, atmosphere, and subtle storytelling. It's dark, beautiful, and relentless, a journey that sharpens your skill and fuels your curiosity. Sekiro is a game that offers no mercy, but rewards like no other. Its story plunges you into a war-torn mystical Japan, where every step feels like a tightrope walk between honor and survival. The plot is rich in symbolism, and each revelation deepens the sense that you're part of a brutal legend where only the strong endure. Gameplay is all about precision. Forget button mashing, timing, enemy reading, and perfect counters are everything. Every duel becomes a mental chess match, and the posture mechanic turns each encounter into a real sword fight where one mistake can end it all. The world feels like a living painting. Snowy peaks, ruined villages, and grand castles mix with mythical beasts and deadly warriors. The blend of historical realism and supernatural elements creates a one-of-a-kind setting where danger is always near. Sekiro grips you by demanding discipline, focus, and resilience. It offers no shortcuts, but every failure teaches something. By the end, you haven't just beaten a game, you've conquered a mountain. It's a journey that sticks with you. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 brings a bold vision, fusing narrative RPG elements with a theatrical atmosphere. Its story follows a doomed world, where each cycle is a fight against fate. Poetic and melancholic yet hopeful, it places emotional weight on every moment, pulling you in from the start. Combat reimagines turn-based gameplay with constant movement. It's not about waiting your turn, you'll stay engaged with timing, reactions, and rhythm. Each battle feels like a deadly dance, where strategy and reflexes merge. Abilities tie directly to the plot, making every fight feel like a narrative beat. The world is hauntingly beautiful. Crumbling cities, dreamlike landscapes, and surreal enemies form a setting that feels like interactive art. It's like walking through a living painting, always shifting, full of meaning. This visual identity makes each step emotionally charged. Expedition 33 promises to be the kind of RPG that echoes in your mind. It's a journey of sorrow and wonder where every choice becomes a piece of a larger, unforgettable tale. God of War Ragnarok is the epic conclusion to a saga born legendary. The story dives deep into family, duty, and the final clash between gods and mortals. It's rich with emotion, balancing intimate moments with battles that feel larger than life. Every scene carries the weight of a legend reaching its climax. Combat remains brutally satisfying but expands with new layers. Hits land with force, but now strategy matters more than ever, with varied weapons, magic, and tactics required to take down different foes. Boss fights are cinematic and fierce, combining action with story like few games can. The realms are visually stunning, from frozen worlds to flaming lands. Each place is rich in detail and steeped in mythology. The scale isn't just physical, it's emotional. Every location tells a story, echoes a past, or hints at a divine struggle. Ragnarok captivates by blending personal stakes with mythical grandeur. It makes you feel everything from quiet heartbreaks to explosive triumphs. It's a true masterpiece that brings an era to a powerful end. Doom Eternal is chaos with purpose. The story keeps the franchise's apocalyptic roots, throwing you into a world overrun by demons with humanity on the brink. No time for rest, just action. Its direct narrative fuels the pace, turning each mission into a blood-soaked chapter of an unstoppable legend. Combat is everything, and there's no room for hesitation. Speed and brutality define every move. You'll think while shooting, sprint non-stop, and use every weapon and skill with surgical precision. Enemies are tools, some drop ammo, others health, and the rhythm you create powers the carnage. The environments are jaw-dropping. Ravaged cities, hellish fortresses, and alien wastelands set the stage. Massive monsters, collapsing structures, and war machines fill the backdrop, making every fight feel like part of something world-shattering. The art style fuses sci-fi and demonic horror into something unforgettable. Doom Eternal never slows down. It doesn't want you to survive, it wants you to dominate, and it turns every battle into a brutal dance of destruction. Few games match its energy from start to finish, earning its place as one of the most intense single-player shooters ever made. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is a towering adventure, literally. Its story keeps the franchise's mythic tone, but gives you the feeling of living through a greater legend, where the fate of an entire kingdom rests in your hands. It blends magic, mystery, and discovery like a timeless tale passed through generations. Gameplay reinvents everything. You don't just roam a massive world, you explore the skies and delve into underground realms. Creative freedom explodes. Build vehicles, craft weapons, and solve problems in wild ways. The game makes you an inventor, always offering new ways to interact. The world is stunning, always rewarding exploration. Floating islands, hidden caves, and sprawling plains stretch in every direction. This verticality reshapes how you explore, making the world feel truly boundless. Every area holds secrets, a shrine, a puzzle, a mystery above or below. Tears of the Kingdom is grand, yet deeply personal. It offers not just a land to explore, but a universe that responds to your creativity. It redefines freedom in action, RPGs, and proves again why Zelda remains the gold standard in unforgettable adventure. So tell me, which of these games hit you the hardest? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm really curious. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to support the channel, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next insane list I'm working on. While you're at it, click the video on screen for another epic selection of games you definitely need to check out.